in West Philadelphia, I was born and raised. On the playground is where I spent most of my days. Chilling out, relaxing, oh yeah, cool, and shooting some b-ball outside of school. Now, if you're too young to remember where that came from, then I have nothing to say to you, but for all those you remember, that is, of course, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and this is the Fresh Prince of Starcraft 2 Galaxy, coming in with a new guest! Yeah! And the good news for me is that I have a pizza on the way that I made myself with my new bread maker, and the bad news for you is you have to listen to me cast this Starcraft 2 game. Yes, that's right, you are doomed to listen to this. If you want to see Boxer, then you have to listen to me. No, incredible APM for our red player Zagiwa. I'll just call him Zagiwa since I don't know. Oh my god, I don't know. I don't know who's who. So I guess Boxer is Terran, right? So we'll just call this guy Boxer and this guy, I forgot what it was. It's just something I don't know. I'll put it in the description. Anyway, we have a Coolio game coming. And I know that you want me to finish that song, which I will do. Here we have a Lost Temple, blue on the right, red on the left. How more straight? I don't think it could be any more straightforward than that. Terran versus Protoss. So, chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool, and shooting some b-ball outside of school. And there were a couple of guys. They were up to no good, trying to make it trouble in my neighborhood. I got in one little fight. My mom got there and says, "You moving with your auntie and uncle in Bel Air?" Oh yeah. Alright. Now I'm really done. And we have some gateways coming down for Protoss and a barracks for Terran. Awesome, 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 awesome. Awesome stuff. Thoughts about this map? Because the positions are cross-map, that means that, let's say Terran were here, you'll notice that Protoss is scouting here first. Because if the third is the gold expansion, it would be much harder to take. Because that's where, it's a much shorter rush distance, blah, blah, blah. And it's just harder to take. So anyway, so it's cross maps. We might see more of a macro game. It's easier to take your third, I think. So we'll just have to see what goes on. But it depends what the strategy is, of course. Because the gateways, we have a gateway and a barracks. In normal places, that means no proxies. Looks like we might see sort of a normal game. The orbital command is on the way for Boxer, and the Marine is on the way from his barracks. Boxer does not know yet where Protoss is. He has scouted to the south, which is again the closest rush distance. Protoss does know where Boxer is because the probe, you could see it there. Okay, now we have Boxer scouting with his SCV. Will find the position of Protoss. Very good. And is Boxer going to send out a couple of Marines to harass, or will he just leave them in his base? I do not know. A tech lab going down, though, and we could see some Marauders, or we could see a factory, and then a little switcheroo coming. We do have 1 gas, and he does have that 100 gas, and this SCV is going to build probably a factory. No, it looks like he's going to put down an expansion first. I wonder what he's going to do with that 150 gas. We will find out soon. But as said before, it's easier to expand because it's cross positions on the map. And it is a very big map. These Marines are going to be defending Boxer's new command center. Meanwhile, on the base of Protoss, a little Zealot running around for the SCV, and the Sentries are on the way, not opting to get Stalker. Interesting choice. Stalkers were more common, I think, when Reaper Harass was more common, but Reapers are hard to get out because they take longer, etc., etc. You know why. And we do have the first Marauder out for Boxer. Deciding to build 2 more barracks. Instead of the factory, which I thought he was going to get a factory because you can see he has 200 gas, so we haven't seen what he's going to do with the gas just yet. But this tech lab, nope, he wasn't not going for any research either. So we'll just have to wait and see. 26 out of 27 is now supply blocked, except Boxer just put down a supply depot. Now we do have a warp gate technology done for the Protoss, and a robo facility going down. Zealot is on this. Each player has their own Zalaga tower, but Boxer is running away because he sees a probe scouting and wants to take care of that probe, I assume. Yes, it looks like the Marines and Marauder is going to go try and kill that probe. A bunker going down at the ramp, which is an interesting choice considering he already has his command center. You'd think that he'd want the bunker down right here, but you know, Boxer is his own dude. He does not need my commentary to tell him what to do. So, but really, I think haven't really seen that before. Anyway, we'll just keep going. A Nexus on the way for our Protoss player, and an observer out to see what's going on. I want to see what each player sees. Okay, Boxer's not aware of the expansion yet from Protoss, and looks like Protoss is aware that he does have three racks and only one gas. Second gas down now, and a factory on the way now. So Boxer is deciding to tech after getting his second expansion, which is usually when you expand at the beginning, it's a little bit harder to tech. So if you wanted some fancy things like Banshees, it would be harder to do that if you went for an expansion. And so that's why we're seeing the factory coming a little bit later, in my opinion. And then on the other hand, for Protoss, we do have 2 gas, and it looks like an Immortal on the way, and only 2 gateways. Okay, I was gonna say only 1 gateway, 2 gateways, and that's all we really see is 2 gateways. I would have thought that we'd see like a forge or maybe 3 gateways, and I'm sorry about all this like moving around. I'm looking for another gateway, and looks like we have a red dot here. It says an observer up. Oh, psych! I thought it was an army, and I think that this bunker is just like a safe bunker in case a big push comes. He can easily let off the command center possibly, or escape. He's probably lost before this way. I'm guessing that this is just like a just in case bunker. You can salvage those, so it's just like a little bit of an investment. It's like, hey, let's tuck away 100 minerals. And look, we have 2 observers in the base of Boxer. I'm surprised the Boxer does not realize that there's an observer here. You'd think that he put up a turret or, I don't know, a scan, but maybe he just doesn't care. Anyway, it looks like we have Vikings on the way, so he is anticipating Colossi. Let's see do we have in the production tab, no, we have Stargates on the way. Not Colossi. So we're going to have Vikings, but no Colossi. I don't know if Boxer is assuming the Colossi are on the way because he doesn't know that there's an Robo facility. I think he knows there's a Robo facility. Let's look. Let's look. He does see the Robo facility, so he assumes there's Colossi. But no, we have 2 Stargates on the way. So will we see Void Rays or Phoenix? Will we see carriers? That's what I want to know. And Boxer is just scouting to see if there's a third, and he does see that there is no third, but the Zealot is going to try and catch the SCV, and I don't think he will be able to catch it. But we do have the Marine. Okay, these Marines and Marauders, where it's going out, they did destroy the Destructible Rocks for the third, so Boxer will be able to get his third much sooner, and he's going to do a little bit of push, I think. Do we have any upgrades? No, it's 0-0, and we do have 2 Phoenix on the way, so as a Protoss, I think it's hard to make Phoenix work against Terran. The third on the way now for Boxer, because Phoenix are so fragile, even more fragile than Metalisks, I think, and they're not quite as good, Phoenix can't shoot buildings. They can't take care of supply depots or anything. A nice little supply depot Tetris wall here. It just kind of looks like Tetris pieces. Very cool. And we do have an engineering bay and +1 on the way. But Colossi are on the way. So I don't know if these Colossi are a little bit late. There are already, these Phoenix are just going to own that Colossi in my opinion, but we will just have to see. The Colossi is coming out right now, Thermal Lance being upgraded. I think it might be a little bit too late. If Boxer pushed in right now, I think he could do a lot of damage. There are no Colossi out, just an Immortal. No, 1 Colossi is out, my mistake. And I still think that Protoss is very vulnerable right now. There's a very large force of Marines and Marauders. We do have 1 medevac, 2 medevacs, and if we look at the production tab, we do have custom shells being researched, and do we have Stim? Yes, Stim has been researched, so Boxer is deciding not to commit to anything right now, though. He might, I don't know if he knows how big the army of the Protoss is, but he does have his third. He knows, I will explain why Boxer did not move out. The reason is because he knows he has his third base up, and it's now a 3-base Terran versus 2-base 3-base Terran versus 2-base Protoss, and so he knows he's ahead in economy, and there's no reason for him to lose in his army, or there's no reason to to go in here. It would be very good positioning for Protoss, you know, to could put his Colossi up here. And I'm just saying that the battle may not have gone in Terran's favor, so why risk it when you know you're up in expansions? And look at Boxer is continuing to scout for expansions, I think, which is supporting the idea that what I was saying. He is scouting up here and scouting down here, making sure that there are no more expansions coming down for Protoss. Make sure that Boxer wants to get in the lead. I think if he saw more expansions, then he would push out. I'm guessing. I am just projecting my opinions because this is a commentary, so not. We just looks like we have air weapons at level 1 is going down for Protoss. So, but coming out of these Stargates are just Phoenix. So we'll just have to see what the Phoenix could be to take care of the Vikings, which are going to protect the Colossi. That's just my idea of why he has Phoenix. When is Terran going to push out? When is Boxer going to push out? He has this very scary army building up, lots of Vikings, and I want to see him do some damage, but I would understand if he doesn't. He just wants to. He may expand for a 4th time. Does Boxer know? He does not know about this expansion yet, but I'm guessing that he will scout. Let's follow this Marine. This Marine is just scouting the expansions of the 4th and 5th base for Protoss. He must assume that the 3rd base is up by now. He's amassing his force. Let's look in the base of Boxer. Looks like 3 more barracks going down. More supply depots, obviously. This 2 starports, 1 with a reactor. Looks like. Let's look at these barracks. Tons of barracks. 5 more barracks here, 4 tech labs, 1 reactor, and the gold is definitely being mined, but only 1 SCV in each gas. But it doesn't look like Boxer really needs all that much gas right now. And we have a push out to the 3rd, trying to make something happen. These Phoenixes are. I'm going to say the Phoenix is going to take care of the Vikings. The Vikings should be trying to take care of the Colossi, and it looks like that's what the Phoenixes were for. They were for taking care of the Vikings. I was wrong. The Phoenixes did a great job taking care of all those Vikings. The Colossi survive, and Boxer runs away. Is he going to make more Vikings? How is he going to deal with the threat of the Phoenixes? The Phoenixes are at a critical number right now, and they're going to go in and try and do some harassment. Boxer now getting a Ghost Academy. Obviously for the tower going down, and SCV's dying by the mass. Oh my gosh. So Phoenixes, once they get to a critical number, I've never seen Phoenix work so well against Terran. Maybe I've just been looking in the dark, but I think it's a great job. And killing these Vikings as they spawn, killing them. They're very vulnerable. In bigger numbers that they would have been more effective, and Boxer trying to make something happen with this group of Marauders. And these Phoenixes, oh, watch out, careful of these Phoenixes, they're going to get shot down. So how do you deal with this many Phoenixes and also this many Colossi? The Vikings were for the Colossi. The Phoenixes were for taking care of the Vikings. I think the Boxer pushed out earlier before this player had so many more. Before Protoss had that many Phoenixes, he would have done better. Meanwhile, the gas going down on the 3rd for Protoss. Neither player is bold enough right now to take their 4th. I think both players are amassing an army. Let's look at the army count. Looks like Boxer is down 120 to 170, and I think these Colossi are going to do wonders for the Protoss player. Going to take care of these Marines and Marauders. They are going to get sliced apart. They are going down, and the Fresh Prince says that Protoss is going to be victorious because the force fields protected his army while Phoenix is taking care of the Vikings, and we have a good game here going on. I haven't seen such creative use of the Phoenixes. I've seen Templars destroy, trying to zone Vikings, but oh, be careful with the Colossi. They're going right up where the Marauders spawn, and you could lose all your Colossi, but no, it looks like they will be safe, and the GG from Boxer. That was a matter of, even though the economic advantage went to the Terran player at the beginning, looks like the Phoenixes did a great job of taking care of those Vikings. Boxer relying just on those Vikings to kill the Colossi, and this game is now over. Thanks so much for watching. This was Galaxy.